Hello, streaming to you live. I'm Gordon with Unlock Your Bioenergy. Today is Tuesday, March 10th, 2026. It's day number 330, wearing the X39, and it's time to celebrate part 2. So, without further ado, I'm going to get myself ready here. I forgot to plug one thing in, and I'm going to continue the presentation that I shared with you yesterday. So, let's continue that here.
So after 2 months of using X49, people find out not only have they gained more strength, stamina, and lean muscle, but the amount of body fat also reduces. Okay, so here's one of the images from the study. This is a fellow that is 74, and I want you to take a look at a couple of the points here. The most important one is the health risk. You can look at the body fat percentage where he started out at 37.5, which is not so good. But what this equipment does is it calculates risk for things like cardiovascular disease, and then it just puts it into a simple percentage. So at this body fat relative to muscle mass, he's 53% higher than ideal in body composition. Now, this is what happens after using X49 just for 2 months. I'm going to put those images side by side so you can see them. Great. That was Michael Accurso, wasn't it? I'd recognize that voice anywhere. Okay, so at age 74, not only was he able to get a reduction in body fat, but look what happened with the health risk now. 53% to 20%. So this is very much in keeping with the goals of the company. We want to not only improve people's overall body shape, but improve their health. That's ultimately the goal. Okay, so some other interesting things here too. So I think it's going to turn out that we're going to be able to make the claim of increasing bone density, but we'll see. So don't go out and say that in the marketing and advertising. Let us finish out some of our studies and see how it turns out. But it's certainly looking pretty good. One of the things that came out of the study as well that you'll definitely see when you go out and exercise with this is you will not get as sore when you're exercising. Your body will be able to take more resistance and stress, and you're going to recover much faster after exercise. This is also as a prerequisite of saying, again, get your diet in line, making sure that you're taking adequate amounts of healthy protein and fat, and using this to support a muscle building and strength and stamina routine. But generally, that said, people in these studies have found they recover more quickly when using this product. I think we've already covered how X49 supports the health of the heart, so I want to get into one other thing here, more specifically is on blood pressure. So we had first saw this in clinical studies that we did with X39, and it appears there's a number of things that are going on here. One is that the cardiovascular system itself seems to be going through some repair, and there's also a relaxation response in the autonomic nervous system. So we're not 100% sure why we see decreases in blood pressure, but we have certainly measured it and we've obtained statistical significance with it. By the way, if someone had high blood pressure, I would not be using only this product for reduction in blood pressure. I would be combining it, again, with a healthy diet and a number of nutritional supplements like pomegranate extract, vitamin K2, that we know are going to help to clean out the arterial walls. But that in of itself was interesting. Now, we're currently doing a study because of COVID. It is taking 2 to 3 times longer to finish clinical studies than it was doing before COVID. So there's a number of clinical studies that we started before the pandemic that hadn't finished up, even today, because clinics had to shut down, and some of these are resuming. But we're doing one very, very interesting study that's near closure, and we're taking people that were professional athletes in a sport in America that you would all know, and we're having them use X39 and X49, and with a functional MRI, we are looking to see how their overall cognition improves over time. So I'm looking forward to sharing that study with you. So what else about the brain? Well, we're concerned with 5G, and I downloaded, I'm going to say it this way, since this is the proper way to characterize it. I downloaded this idea, was blessed with this idea of creating a biological Faraday cage. And so years ago, we had developed in our labs a device to block the radiation that was coming off of cell phones. And we sold that product for a few years, but then it became very, very evident that this was not going to be a long-term solution to this problem. That because of the proliferation of 4G and now 5G, with Bluetooth, Wi-Fi being everywhere, we really needed to address this problem in an entirely different way. And I started to think about, is it possible that human beings were meant to be upgraded as a way of addressing future challenges? So, in other words, the idea is kind of interesting from the sense that human beings have been able to adapt and survive for at least thousands of years. And so could we have been created with an adaptation process that was foreseen of the electronic smog and pollutants that we're all faced with today? So if we wanted to block electromagnetic signals, the way that we would do that is we would take a device and we would put it in a Faraday cage. And so a Faraday cage is generally something like a copper screen, which is grounded, and you put a cell phone inside and it can no longer receive a signal, communication. That radiation is blocked. So I began to think about this idea of, would there be a way that we could do this in human beings? And if we could do it, how would we do it? So the general idea behind this is, well, we have a product that is capable of binding with copper. We know that copper will block radiation. So if we could cause that peptide to maybe link with another peptide that was capable of binding copper, we may be able to develop a network of peptides in the skin that are bound to copper that block radiation. And so what we may find as a result of the combination of X39 and X49 is that it reduces a person's susceptibility to things like 5G. We have some preliminary evidence that this works. So this research is ongoing. Had hoped to have the completed study for you today, but the preliminary results are pretty exciting. So I hope we are releasing that in the future as a product claim. So in summary, what we're doing with X49 is we are continuing on with our vision of expanding the product line with stem cell products. And we're going to go through a phase now, it'll be about 3 to 5 years, where we're going to continue to release other products that induce stem cell activity in the body and help to support overall regeneration. So X49 is our next step in that direction. And as we're doing this, we're going to be offering new benefits that we haven't had access to before. So now we have an effective way to combat age-related sarcopenia, muscle loss. And now there's no reason why people that are in their 60s, 70s, or 80s have to deal with a weakening condition. They can recapture the strength and stamina that they had when they were younger, and we've proven that's the case. This is now, I know I'm 58, so I've spent a lot of time, talking about people that are a little bit older, but this is going to open up some opportunities because we have people in their 20s and teens that are using X49 and getting great results. And so in athletics, as you all know, it's about that 1% difference in performance that means the difference between a gold medal and not placing at all. So we think this is going to open up opportunities in our business and our marketing that maybe we couldn't reach before. So we think this will expand our business opportunities. And of course, this puts us on the continued path towards introducing products that reverse the human aging process. So in our marketing, we want to keep X39 as the premier product, and X49 will be the daughter product. And people will add X39 should be their first experience with LifeWave, and as you add X49, then people can get these additional benefits of strength and stamina. Okay? Okay, so we haven't talked about where you put X49. Well, this is the beauty of it. It's incredibly simple. Just like X39, you can apply it just about anywhere on the body, and it works. So in our clinical studies, we have people using it either behind the neck or below the belly button, and that's just a standard convention that we have. And with government regulators, you have to be able to show that your instructions match with your clinical studies. So that's why we keep a standard convention. But in practice, you could put X49 along the front, along the back, on the right side of the body, generally. Anywhere you want to apply it, it's going to work. And we've gotten some fantastic X49 testimonials. So our customer service department was, after we got through clinical studies, they were kind enough to volunteer and try the product, and they gave us some of the initial feedback of, oh my, we really love X49. This one is really fun because Andreas said that he felt like he was powered by a nuclear reactor. And here's another testimonial from Jess using X49 like a pre-workout. So I'll spare you the rest, but we got some phenomenal testimonials on X49 right from the beginning. Now, Jason is going to be up here a little bit later this afternoon talking about our pre-launch and our launch strategy and marketing tools that we're creating to support you. But right now we're in this pre-launch phase, and we're going to be going into the launch phase in January. So as of today, you'll be able to get X49.
So further on with the presentation today, David talks about other benefits from the weight loss perspective and how the body benefits from that. And I must say, since I started adding X49, after beginning to wear the X39, I'm seeing the difference. And then you see here, I'm putting it on. This is the X49 right there. So I've been wearing it now for 25 minutes, about there. And I can feel it. I feel the difference. And yesterday, I was working out, and you can see in the warm up, if you watch the replay, I was able to sustain the heart rate range of 180 for several minutes, and then when I increased the intensity to double unders and 8 running steps back and forth, almost unbroken for the duration, I was over 200 for the balance of the warm-up. And when I reached the recovery period, my heart rate just recovered really quick. And you can see in the description of the video in the replay that just how quickly it recovered. And there's something to be said about combining these two, the X39 and the X49, with that of the cleanest and most absorbable water, which I call deuterium free, with a hydrogen bond angle of 114 degrees. And water is crucial for the synthesis of proteins and also the synthesis of the AHK CU peptide from that of the X49 and the GHK CU peptide from that of the X39. So when you start to reap the benefits, as I have been, it shows. You feel it. And so when I talk about experiencing the benefits, I really mean it. And I'm backing that up every day when I show you the exercises that I'm going to do. So yesterday I did the pull, back pulling. Do I feel, soreness or a high level of soreness? No. I did feel it yesterday. And I slept well. And I'm ready to do today's session, which is push exercises. So if you haven't already, I encourage you to try powering your body with the best. As you see the QR code on the screen there, or click on the link in the description to take you to the shop where you can place your order. And when you do so, it will take you to the QR code will be here, and it comes back, and there is a, as you see, 90-day 100% money back guarantee for retail and preferred customers. 30-day 100% money back guarantee for brand partners. And take advantage of the opportunity to experience the benefits. I don't think you will regret it. So with that, today's workout. I got the, I just realized I didn't put my shoes on yet, but I'm gonna put on the heart rate monitor. I don't know if you can see, it's acting. So there's the blue. Get myself organized quickly here. I'm going to set the metronome for 140. Yeah, what did I do yesterday? 145? I'll do the same today. And I did the one sequence I did yesterday was on the with the metronome. I did one crisscross and then 3 regular steps, and then 1 crisscross and then 3 regular steps. And I did this for the latter part of the first 6.5 minutes, and my heart rate was quite strong at that time, and my pace was equally as strong. So, without further ado, let's begin. Nine-minute warm-up. All right, let's get on with it. Sun is shining quite nicely today. I didn't check what the barometric pressure is. Probably should. It is with that. All right. So you can see what my heart rate is there. I'm going to change the tempo down to 160. All right, so first and foremost, I'm going to do the bar hang. I'm just going to attach another band here so it doesn't sway too much. I keep it kind of a little bit sturdy, and here we go. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, oh gosh, slipping, 19, there's 20. So I kept holding on until the very last moment. Whew. Felt good to get that done. Alright, so the first exercise is going to be lower chest, which I'm going to take the vibration plate and combine with yeah, it's going to be somewhere here. I have a 13-pound blue body elastics band, which when you cut it in half, it becomes 26. So 26 pounds on each side. Okay, slightly. All right. All right. Now I'm going to take, this is a 30-pound band, and I'm going to press them together like this and crisscross them. So, go back a little bit. And let's begin. Wow. Wow. It's a good stretch, good activation. This exercise is very good. certainly. Alright. Wow. Next up is switching to the upper chest. So I'm going to take similar weight to the band, 30 pounds. Now I'm going to work the medial part of the chest. In addition to having the band attached here at a lower anchor point. Alright, so I'm going to move this a little bit forward. It's kind of in the spot where I want it to be. Now, 30 pounds is the green. And these power blocks. Alright. So I'm just going to do a basic bench press, but with the added I know what I'm going to do. Flip this around. Just so it's there. That way I'm not, I can still there we go. So attach these guys on here. So to make sure I incorporate like the fly. There we go. Just have a little bit more. Okay. Wow, that's really uncomfortable. I'm gonna just reduce the weight one here. I'm gonna go to 25. Because I can really feel that I put heavier weight on the bands. Here we go. A little more even. I know what I need to do next week. All right, next up, oh, I switched too early. I was gonna do the upper chest first, and I switched to medial. I did reverse, no big deal. Wow. I can certainly feel that tension. Next week I think whew. Having the bands as part of that movement really creates a lot of tension, and heavier bands this week certainly adds to that. Okay, gotta move this back up here. So I made a premature adjustment. Okay. Next up is the all right. I said, what did I say? Upper chest red bands on the floor. Okay, so that's where I'm going to take. I've got the door anchors put on here, so I'm going to put the these guys here because I want to cross it like this. All right. Really made this difficult for myself. Oh, this is not working. Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes, I know. Okay. I'm going to try it this way. Try this way and squeeze them together. Yeah, it's certainly trying to feel where it is. It's kind of like, how do I describe this? Kind of like a TKE version, I guess, but with the weight pulling from the bottom. Certainly squeezing the blood out of my hands from the elbows. Wow, that's certainly different. All right, next is stretched bicep curls. So that's where I'm gonna, okay, got my notes here. I'm gonna take the red bands, and they will go underneath my feet. So basically I'm gonna pull, I'm gonna do a stretched bicep curl. That's where I'm going to take, I was kind of just eyeing this. Oh, I think what I'm going to do, yes, is put a dual band of red underneath here. Yeah, because this, yes, that's what I want. I want to reduce the slack in this red band, so I'm going to put one anchor on under each foot. All right, and I want the green. I've got green double, so it's 10 plus 8, so it's 18 pounds altogether. And what I'm going to do is step on it like this, so I've got tension at this point here. Yeah, that's good right there. That's what I want. Okay. So, really? So supinated like this. Well, I don't know what happened here. Lost my camera angle. So I'll just switch here, or I'll fix this. Where are you? Okay. I don't know what's going on here. So I'll just switch to this camera. software, you know, sometimes it works really well and other times it just doesn't want to cooperate. So what that all entails, I don't know, but all right. Actually, I'm going to do it another way. Have a little bit more slack, or less slack. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Change it to supination. So the elbows are behind my back because I'm more or less kind of dragging. I guess you could call this, Jeff calls this a drag curl. Wow. Next up is pronation. So that's where I'm going to take and hold it differently. All right. doing this from the extended or the stretched, so the bicep is stretched behind, and then you add the curl, the pronation to it. Wow. This is more weight than I used last week overall. Have to watch my left hand, my wrist. Wow. Doing the negative like that, you can tell how much it cuts the blood circulation off. Yeah, have to watch my left. I can feel it. Wow. Okay, next up I'm going to do the brachialis. And that's where I'm going to grab the towel. And this will be the last exercise for today. So with the brachialis, I'm just going to crisscross. So basically pull them up this way. Yeah, I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the grain band off today. And I'm just going to focus on just like that. Yeah, seems about the same. And oh, I guess I should do it this way so you can see my form. Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be this, like that. It's going to be the brachialis. switch back and forth. Alright, that's it for today. Let's have a look. Alright, date stamp. March 10th, 2026. Starting time at 1:47 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. My maximum heart rate that I hit today was 205, and I was in the heart rate zone of 185 to 206 for 2 minutes and 16 seconds according to this here. And so you can see almost what happened like yesterday. I was getting up the 180 portion of the workout yesterday didn't happen today, so I wonder why. I think possibly because I ate quinoa yesterday, more carbs in the body. It's the only thing I can think of. So it results are showing. So hope you enjoyed today's session, part 2 of Time to Celebrate, with the presentation from the founder of LifeWave. And you know, I'm keeping my muscle weight and still eating, you know, around 20 to 30 grams of protein per day. Yesterday I had 2 eggs. It's 1 or 2 servings of quinoa, and I had some fish, piece of fish, There's tilapia, and then one piece of chicken, like just a, you know, maybe a quarter of a chicken breast size. I made a wrap with that, so that's what I had, and that was with quinoa and a little bit of avocado. So that's what I ate yesterday, and we'll be back again tomorrow for Wacky Wednesday. It'll be leg day, so make sure you get your rest, eat well, and be ready for tomorrow. Right, have a good night. See ya.